Welcome. Today, we're diving into some of the most valuable coins in U.S. history, the copper wheat pennies. These little coins made of steel and copper could be worth way more than their face value, and in some cases they might even make you a millionaire. Let's explore which ones are worth huge money and why they might just be your ticket to a fortune. First up, we're going to dive into the world of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny, specifically the large date version with the S mint mark in dirty condition. If you have one of these coins lying around, you might be curious about what it's worth in today's market. Well, let's take a closer look. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during World War I, and it's one of the most widely circulated pennies from the era. The large date variety is often sought after by collectors, especially when it has the S mint mark, indicating it was minted in San Francisco. Now, when it comes to the value, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its price. A clean and well-preserved 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark can range anywhere from $80,000 in average condition. However, this one here is in dirty condition, with that black color shade that many collectors aren't too fond of. So, what does that mean for the value a coin with dirt, black discoloration, or stains like this? 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny will generally decrease in value compared to a clean, higher-grade coin. But that doesn't mean it's worthless, far from it. In dirty condition, you can expect this coin to be valued between $120,000 depending on its exact condition. While it's not as high as a pristine coin, it still holds a place in many collectors' hearts due to its historical significance and unique minting details. Keep in mind, the value of coins like this can fluctuate. In 2024, the market for lower-grade coins has been relatively stable, and dirty coins from iconic series like the Lincoln Wheat pennies still maintain a solid interest, especially with the rise of coin hoarding during the pandemic and continuing interest from new collectors. If you're looking to sell or even clean this coin, I'd recommend consulting with a professional numismatist or coin dealer. While some collectors prefer to keep the natural patina or character of a coin like this, others may attempt to clean it up, but be cautious. Cleaning a coin improperly can damage its value further, so it's best to leave it as is, unless you're sure of what you're doing. So there you have it, the value of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark in dirty condition. Even though it's not worth a fortune, it's still a piece of history that many collectors would love to own. Next up, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat penny marks the end of World War I, a year of great historical significance. The obverse still carries the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the reverse is adorned with the 2 ears of wheat. This particular coin is notable for its condition, which, unlike the mint state coins from this era, has suffered damage over time. As with other wheat pennies, the design by Victor David Brenner remains largely unchanged. The only difference in this coin's appearance is the noticeable damage, which could be due to rough handling or environmental factors, affecting its overall preservation and appearance. Around 1.2 billion 1945 pennies were minted, which is comparable to the 1942. Like many coins of the time, most were used in everyday transactions, contributing to the high circulation and worn condition of many surviving examples. Coins in full damaged condition typically don't fetch high prices, and this coin's value is significantly reduced due to its poor state. In the current market, you might expect to see it sold for $73,000, depending on its specific wear and the degree of damage. While it's not valuable in terms of condition, it's still a piece of history from a post-YI America. Coins in such a damaged state are generally not as appealing to most collectors, but they may still hold some value for those collecting unusual or survival coins. This coin doesn't feature any known error, and its lower value mainly comes from the wear and tear over the years. Next up, we're exploring the value of the 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny with the D mint mark in extra fine condition. This coin is a gem from the early 20th century and has a fascinating history tied to it. Stick around to find out what it's worth in today's market. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a time when the United States was on the brink of entering World War IEO. Over 128 million pennies were minted at the Denver Mint. Pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, making the D mint mark version quite common. However, Its value increases when you have one in higher grades like extra fine or better. So what makes this coin stand out in extra fine condition? The 1941 D Lincoln Wheat Penny features sharp details. You'll notice that Lincoln's hair and coat show minimal wear, while the wheat stalks on the reverse remain well-defined. These details make it a desirable piece for collectors. Now, let's talk about what everyone wants to know, the value. In 2024, a 1941 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition is typically valued between $58,000. This price range reflects its solid state of preservation and collectible appeal. Keep in mind, several factors can impact the coin's value. These include the sharpness of the details, the visibility of the demint mark, and whether the coin has been cleaned. Collectors always prefer original surfaces over coins that have been polished or altered. If you're planning to sell a 1941 D Wheat Penny in XF condition, consider getting it graded by a reputable service like CG's or NG. A graded coin often sells for a premium because buyers trust its authenticity and condition. Alternatively, you can sell it through local coin shops, online marketplaces, or even at coin shows. While the 1941 DA Wheat Penny isn't a rare coin, it's still a great addition to any collection, especially in higher grades. Wheat pennies have shown steady demand among collectors, making them a reliable investment for those who love U.S. coinage. And that's a wrap for today's video. If you own a 1941 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in extra fine condition, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about its value in today's market? Next up, the 1945 Lincoln Wheat Penny came at a time when the United States was emerging from the shadows of World War I, and the nation was beginning to rebuild. The design on the coin remained consistent with earlier pennies, continuing the iconic Lincoln portrait and wheat reverse. The 1945 penny's design is the same as the others in the series, with the detailed bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the two stalks of wheat on the reverse. In very fine condition, the details of the design are still sharp and visible, making it a more desirable coin for collectors. A total of 1.1 billion 1945 pennies were minted, which is consistent with the large mintage of coins from the 1940s. The lack of a mint mark means this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In very fine condition, the 1945 penny can be valued between $63,000 at auction. While the mintage was large, the quality of the coin and its excellent condition contribute to its higher value compared to coins in lesser grades. Collectors are especially interested in high-quality examples of the 1945 penny, as it marks the post-war era. While there are no significant errors on this coin, it remains a strong piece for those collecting fine examples of Lincoln Wheat Pennies from the mid-20th century. Next up, the 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark, specifically one in dirty condition. Curious about its value in today's market? Let's dive right in. The 1947 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted 2 years after the end of World War I. Over 194 million of these pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D mint marked just below the date. While this coin isn't considered rare, it still holds historical significance as part of the iconic Wheat Penny series that ran from 1909 to 1958. This coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, with the wheat stalks on the reverse symbolizing prosperity and unity. In dirty condition, the details may appear muted, with discoloration or grime affecting the coin's surface. While this lowers its collectible appeal, it still retains some value. So how much is a 1947 D Lincoln Wheat Penny in dirty condition worth in today's market? Typically, coins in this state are valued at around $57,000. While this might not seem like much, it's still significantly more than its face value of 1 cent. Condition is a critical factor in determining a coin's value. A 1947 D Wheat Penny in pristine, uncirculated condition can be worth anywhere from $69,000 or even more, depending on its grade. However, coins in dirty condition are considered lower grade and mainly appeal to beginner collectors or those seeking filler coins for their collections. Thinking about cleaning your dirty 1947 D penny to increase its value? Be careful. Cleaning a coin can damage its surface and reduce its value even further. Most collectors prefer coins in their natural, untouched state, even if they're dirty or discolored. If you're looking to sell your 1947 wheat penny in dirty condition, you can try local coin shops, online marketplaces, or coin shows. Just keep in mind that coins in this condition are generally valued for their historical interest, rather than as high-dollar collectibles. And that's it for today's video. While a 1947 D. Lincoln wheat penny in dirty condition won't make you rich, it's still a great piece of history to hold on to or add to your collection. Do you have one of these coins? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny. But this one has some unique features. No mint mark, a red-black color shade, and it's in bad condition. How much is this coin worth in today's market? Let's find out. Let's start with a little history. The 1919 Lincoln wheat penny was minted just after World War I during a time of recovery and growth in the United States. It was produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coin we're talking about today, with no mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. With over 392 million coins produced that year, it's one of the most common wheat pennies ever minted, but its age still makes it a collectible piece. This particular coin has seen better days. The red-black discoloration could be caused by environmental exposure, such as being buried in the ground or exposed to moisture over the years. Combined with the heavy wear, scratches, and other damage, this penny is classified as being in bad condition. While it might not look perfect, it still holds historical value. So, how much is a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition worth today in the current collector market? A heavily worn and discolored 1919 penny, like this one, is worth between $130,000 and $5,000. While it's not a high-value coin due to its condition, its age and historical context still make it desirable for some beginner collectors. Now, let's compare. A 1919 wheat penny in good condition could sell for $139,000, and one in extra fine condition can fetch $143,000. But if you're lucky enough to find one uncirculated condition, it could be worth $168,000 or even more. As you can see, the condition plays a massive role in determining a coin's value. If you're thinking about selling a 1919 wheat penny in bad condition, there are still options. Online platforms like eBay or Etsy are great places to list it for beginner collectors or those who appreciate unique coins. Just be sure to include clear photos and an honest description of the coin's condition, including its discoloration and wear. It might not bring in a lot of money, but it's still worth more than face value. Even though a 1919 wheat penny in bad condition isn't worth much in terms of dollars, its sentimental and historical value can't be ignored. Think about it, this coin has been around for over a century, surviving wars, economic changes, and countless transactions. It's a little piece of history you can hold in your hand. First up, the 1942 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny was struck during a pivotal time in U.S. history. It was the second year of the United States involvement in World War I. The coin's obverse features: Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a symbol of unity and perseverance. The reverse, designed by Victor David Brenner, showcases the iconic wheat ears, representing America's agricultural abundance. The design of the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny is well known, with a portrait of Lincoln facing right on the obverse. The reverse shows 2 ears of wheat surrounding the denomination 1 cent with United States of America. Around the perimeter, this simple yet powerful design made the coin a staple in American currency for many years. The total mintage of the 1942 wheat penny without a mint mark is significant, with around 1.1 billion coins being struck. The absence of a mint mark indicates that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Given the high mintage, many of these coins are still in circulation or were saved in large quantities during the years following their release. In extra fine condition, the 1942 Lincoln wheat penny can be valued at around $1.50 to $3 in today's auction market. While this is not a rare coin, its excellent preservation boosts its value among collectors, especially those seeking to complete a set of higher-grade pennies. Collectors are particularly interested in finding coins from the Lincoln series in good condition. This coin has also become popular due to its historical context, as it was produced during the early years of World War II. While there are no major known errors for this particular year, the 1942 penny is often sought after by enthusiasts because of its connection to wartime production. Next up, the 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny with the D mint mark, but here's the catch. This one is in bad condition with a black color shade and significant wear, so what's it worth in today's market? Let's dive in and find out. The 1955 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a post-World War II era in the United States, with more than 280 million of these pennies struck at the Denver Mint. It's not a rare coin by any means, but it's still an important piece of history. The D mint mark indicates that it was produced at the Denver Mint, where the coin was struck alongside others from that year. Now let's take a look at the coin itself. In bad condition, this 1955 DI penny shows signs of wear and tear scratches, discoloration, and a distinct black color shade. These marks are typically caused by dirt, grime, or long-term exposure to the elements, which is pretty common for older coins that have been circulating for decades. So, how much is a 1955 D Lincoln Wheat penny worth today in this bad condition? The value is a lot lower than one in better shape. In 2024, a 1955 D Wheat penny in bad condition is typically valued between $86,000. While that's far from a windfall, it's still several times its face value. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining a coin's value. A 1955 D Lincoln Wheat penny in good or very good condition might be worth $89,000, while one in higher grades like extra fine or uncirculated could fetch upwards of $94,000 or more. So, as you can see, a coin in bad condition won't bring in top dollar, but it still holds some collectible value. Now, you might be tempted to clean your bad condition penny to make it look better, but here's a quick tip. Don't. Cleaning a coin can damage its surface, lowering its value even more. Collectors prefer coins in their original state no matter how dirty or worn they are. So, resist the urge to polish it up. Thinking of selling your 1955 D Lincoln Wheat penny in bad condition? You can try local coin shops, online auction sites like eBay, or even coin shows. Just keep in mind that the value will be on the lower end due to its condition, but it still has some historical appeal for beginner collectors or anyone looking to complete their set of Lincoln Wheat pennies. So, that wraps up today's look at the 1955 D Lincoln Wheat penny in bad condition. Even though it might not be worth a ton of money, it's still part of a rich U.S. coinage history. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a pivotal moment in American history. This was just before the United States entered World War II, and the country was on the brink of a new chapter. The early years of the 20th century had already been marked by social, economic, and political change, and the 1940s would bring further challenges and transformations to the U.S. In 1940, the United States was preparing for war, with the events of Pearl Harbor still a year away. This period also marked the height of the Great Depression, though there were signs of economic recovery. The U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins to support daily transactions, and the Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny was an important part of that effort. The 1940 Wheat penny features the iconic design of Abraham Lincoln, sculpted by Victor David Brenner on the obverse. Lincoln is depicted facing right with a strong, determined expression, symbolizing the nation's endurance. The reverse features two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots and prosperity. The without mint mark designation means that the coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary facility for minting pennies during that period. The design of the wheat ears on the reverse was a popular motif during the early 20th century, and it represented the American farmer's contribution to the nation's growth and stability. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny had an impressive mintage of approximately 1.1 billion coins. This large number suggests that the coin was widely circulated, and many of these coins have been lost to time or wear. The high mintage, however, means that the 1940 penny is not one of the rarest in the series. However, when found in fine condition, This coin stands out among its peers due to its relatively well-preserved state compared to others that have been circulated for decades. Coins in fine condition exhibit moderate wear, but still retain clear details, particularly on the obverse portrait of Lincoln and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Market value. As of today, the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition can be valued at around $83,000. This valuation is influenced by factors such as demand, condition, and scarcity. While not a particularly rare coin, its age and historical context give it an added value. Coin prices can fluctuate depending on market trends and the auction environment. Collectors are particularly interested in coins like the 1940 Lincoln wheat penny because they represent a crucial period in U.S. history, just before the outbreak of World War II. While the 1940 penny does not feature any major errors, collectors still seek out high-quality examples, especially those in fine or better condition. Some collectors may also look for coins with unusual toning or other subtle characteristics that can enhance the coin's appeal. The 1940 penny is part of a larger series of Lincoln wheat pennies, which are highly collectible due to the different designs and the historical significance of the coins. As part of the Lincoln series, the 1940 penny remains a favorite for many collectors who are looking to complete a set. Next up, the 1938 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark, in extra fine condition. How much is this coin worth in today's market? Let's break it down. The 1938 Lincoln wheat penny was minted in the midst of the Great Depression, a time when coin production was still booming, but every penny still had significant purchasing power. Unlike other years in the series, the 1938 penny wasn't produced in huge quantities, making it a notable coin among collectors. With no mint mark, this one was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark was used on coins struck there. In extra fine condition, this 1938 Lincoln wheat penny shows very minimal wear. The key details are still sharp and well-defined Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. It's easy to spot a coin in this grade because you'll notice only light wear, with the fields and designs clearly visible. So, how much is a 1938 Lincoln wheat penny worth today in extra fine condition? In this coin can fetch anywhere between $1.50 to $3. The value may vary slightly depending on factors like market trends, the specific coin's appearance, and demand among collectors. While it's not an ultra-rare penny, it still holds a decent premium due to its age and the condition. As we've discussed before, condition is everything when it comes to determining a coin's value. A 1938 Lincoln wheat penny in good or very good condition may only be worth 50 cents to $1, while one in extra fine condition can go for $1.50 to $3 or more. And if it's uncirculated, you might see it worth as much as $10 or more so. The better the condition, the higher the value. Looking to sell your 1938 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition? You can list it on online platforms like eBay or try your local coin shops. Make sure to mention the coin's grade and condition to help set a fair price. You might also find it in high demand among collectors looking to complete their sets of Lincoln wheat pennies from the 1930s. Lincoln wheat pennies are a staple in many collectors' portfolios, especially for those looking to complete a full set or focus on coins from specific decades. The 1938 penny may not be the rarest, but it's a great coin to have in your collection due to its historical significance at decent value. So there you have it. The 1938 Lincoln wheat penny in extra fine condition is a valuable and classic coin to add to your collection. Next up, the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny came just after the end of World War II and during the start of a period of economic expansion in the U.S. The coin carries the image of Abraham Lincoln and the classic wheat design by Victor David Brenner, which remains unchanged from the early days of the series. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln in his familiar pose, while the reverse showcases the 2 ears of wheat that are symbolic of the nation's agricultural strength. In this case, the coin has become dirty over time, which detracts from its aesthetic appeal. Approximately 2 billion 1948 pennies were minted, and as with most coins of this period, the majority were circulated widely, which accounts for the large number of surviving examples in less than ideal condition. A dirty condition coin typically reduces its value significantly, as it might not be as aesthetically pleasing to collectors. A 1948 penny in such a state might sell for around $37, 50 cents to $1, 50 cents depending on the level of wear and the degree of tarnish. While dirt and tarnish affect the coin's visual appeal, some collectors appreciate these examples for their age and history. However, the dirt condition usually limits its marketability. There are no known major errors associated with this particular year and mint, making it primarily an example of historical interest. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny without a mint mark, in a unique color shade and damaged condition. If you've got one of these coins, you might be wondering, how much is it worth in today's collector market? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the history of this coin. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which explains why it doesn't have a mint mark. That year, over 186 million pennies were struck in Philadelphia, making this a relatively common coin. However, its age and historical significance still make it an interesting piece for collectors. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. This particular penny has damage that impacts its condition, such as scratches, dents, or even corrosion. On top of that, the unusual color shade, whether caused by environmental exposure, chemical reactions, or other factors, makes it stand out, though not necessarily in a good way for collectors. So what's a 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny in damaged condition worth today? Unfortunately, damage and discoloration significantly lower a coin's value. In today's market, a damaged 1952 penny with no mint mark typically fetches between $75,000. It's worth more than face value, but it's far from a high-value collector's item. As with most coins, condition is everything when it comes to value. A 1952 wheat penny in good or fine condition might be worth $80,000, $3,000, while one in extra fine or uncirculated condition could fetch $95,000 or more. The damage on this particular coin, combined with the unusual color shade, limits its appeal to serious collectors and brings the value down. If you're thinking of selling your 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny, even in damaged condition, you still have options. Online marketplaces like eBay or Etsy might attract beginner collectors or buyers looking for unique coins. But keep in mind that the value won't be very high due to the damage. Alternatively, you might choose to keep it as a conversation piece or part of a sentimental collection. Believe it or not, some collectors enjoy holding onto damaged or unusual coins. While this 1952 penny might not be worth much, it still tells a story. It survived over 70 years of use, and its wear and tear reflect its journey through history. So don't underestimate the sentimental value of even a damaged. And that's it for today's look at the 1952 Lincoln Wheat Penny in damaged condition. What do you think about this coin? Do you have a similar one in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, the 1923 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted during a time when the U.S. economy was recovering from World War I. This coin is part of the early years of the Lincoln series and offers a glimpse into the era's numismatic history. The 1923 penny was produced during the 1910s and 1920s, which were marked by substantial changes in the American economy. As with other pennies of the time, the design remains true to the original Lincoln wheat motif. The coin features a right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the reverse displays 2 stalks of wheat, creating a timeless design that has become a hallmark of American currency. Approximately 87 million 1923 pennies were minted, making it less common than coins like the 1945 and 1942, but still relatively abundant. The 1923 without a mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Philadelphia. In fine condition, the 1923 penny is valued between $52,000 at auction, depending on its exact wear and any other specific characteristics it may exhibit. The 1923 penny is popular among collectors because of its historical significance and lower mintage when compared to other years in the Lincoln series. Collectors are particularly interested in the 1923 penny because of its lower mintage, which makes it more elusive in fine condition. There are no known significant errors for this coin, but any unique characteristic, such as strong details or even slight die cracks, could increase its appeal among enthusiasts. Next up in today's video, We're looking at a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny, but there's a catch. This penny is in full damage condition, and it has no mint mark. So how much is it worth in? Let's dive in and find out. Before we talk about the value, let's get some background on the 1937 Lincoln wheat penny. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this penny had a circulation of over 175 million coins. Although it's a relatively common coin, it's still sought after by collectors for its historical value, especially considering it was struck during the aftermath of the Great Depression. Now, let's take a closer look at the coin itself. This 1937 penny is in full damage condition with visible signs of wear, such as scratches, gouges, and dents. The color has also faded, and there's some tarnishing or discoloration. While this coin has certainly seen better days, it still holds some value due to its age and historical context. The screen displays a table comparing the value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in various conditions, including good fine, extra fine, and full damage. So, what's the value of a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in full damage condition today? Unfortunately, the damage significantly lowers its worth. In today's market, a damaged 1937 penny is typically valued between $58,000. While it's still more than face value, it's not much for a collector's item due to the condition. To put things in perspective, a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in good condition might sell for $75,000 cents, while one in extra fine or uncirculated condition could be worth $87,000. A coin with full damage just doesn't hold the same market value, even though it's over 80 years old. If you have a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in this condition and are thinking about selling it, online marketplaces like eBay or Etsy are good options. While it won't fetch a high price, there's still interest from collectors looking to complete their sets, or even from beginners who are just starting out. Just be sure to clearly mention the coin's damage in your listing. You might be wondering why anyone would collect damaged coins in the first place. The truth is, even damaged coins have their place in a collection. Whether it's because of the historical significance, the story behind the coin, or simply for the challenge of finding rare pieces, many collectors enjoy owning coins like this 1937 penny. It might not be worth a fortune, but it's a tangible piece of history. So, there you have it. A 1937 Lincoln wheat penny in full damage condition is worth around $90,000 today. Do you have one of these coins in your collection, or perhaps you found one in your pocket change? Let me know in the comments below. Next up, 1951. The United States had fully recovered from the Great Depression and was now firmly entrenched in the post-World War II era. This period marked a time of economic growth and transformation, with industrialization and consumer culture booming. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny was struck in a time of prosperity and optimism, representing a symbol of peace and growth in the country after the war. The early 1950s also saw the beginnings of the Cold War, and tensions between the U.S. and the Soviet Union were escalating. The U.S. Mint was still producing massive quantities of coins to keep pace with the growing economy, and the Lincoln wheat penny was a staple of everyday transactions. Like all Lincoln wheat pennies, the 1951 penny features the well-known portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, surrounded by the words Liberty and the date 1950. The reverse features the iconic wheat ears, with the inscription United States of America and a pluribus unum surrounding the denomination 1 cent. The extra fine condition of this coin means that it shows only light wear, with most of the original details still visible, particularly the strong features on Lincoln's face and the fine lines of the wheat stalks on the reverse. Extra fine coins are typically highly valued by collectors due to their excellent state of preservation. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary location for minting pennies in 1951. This lack of mint mark is common for pennies of this era, as Philadelphia was the minting hub for most Lincoln wheat pennies. The 1951 Lincoln wheat penny had a significant mintage of about 1.1 billion coins, making it a relatively common coin in circulation. Despite the high mintage, coins in extra fine condition are less common due to the natural wear and tear these coins would have undergone during decades of circulation. Market value. In extra fine condition, the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny can be valued between $46,000 depending on the auction house and the specific details of the coin. While this may not be considered an extremely rare penny, its good condition and historical context make it a desirable piece for collectors. The value is largely driven by its quality. Coins in extra fine condition retain much of the original detail, and collectors are always on the lookout for high-quality examples of more common coins, especially as part of larger collections. The price can vary depending on the demand at auction, the reputation of the seller, and the number of available coins. While the 1951 Lincoln wheat penny does not have any widely known errors or variants, it still garners interest among collectors who focus on the finer details of the Lincoln series. Some errors, such as double die, obverses, or other misprints, may occasionally appear, but these are rare. For most collectors, a clean, well-preserved example of the 1951 penny is a highly sought after piece to add to a collection. Collectors are drawn to this coin due to its connection to the post-YE era, as well as the ongoing fascination with the Lincoln wheat penny series. A coin from this year is a symbol of post-war prosperity, and collectors who focus on the 1950s often appreciate the historical value of the 1951 Lincoln penny. And that concludes our deep dive into the 1940 and 1951 Lincoln wheat pennies. From their historical contexts to their design features, mintage numbers, and current values in today's auction market, these coins tell unique stories and offer a glimpse into America's past. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning to explore the world of numismatics, understanding these coins' place in history and their market appeal is essential for any serious collection. Thanks for joining me today at Expensive Coins. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content about rare coins and their value in today's market.